Welcome to Digital Asset News, take the top stories in cryptocurrency digital assets. Now I'm bringing down a bite-sized pieces today. Got some fantastic news. First up, Kraken is now going to be a registered bank in the state of Wyoming. Why this is huge, why this is going to change everything, and why I'm going to be changing my banks quickly. Also, this is a follow-up from yesterday's video, but we're going to talk about MicroStrategy outperforms the NASDAQ Composite after a 175 million Bitcoin purchase is made. This is on top of their 250 million Bitcoin that they already purchased and what actually happened to their stock, which in my opinion is more of a bullish story than them actually buying the Bitcoin. Also, we're going to talk about Chainlink to start supplying data for Crypto.com's DeFi wallet, which will lead us into question of the day where we answer the question, which is, how do I buy Theta? So we'll get to all that, but let's take a look at what's going on with the market. So today, September 16th, about 10 a.m. Texas time, and it looks like Bitcoin finally broke above that 11,000, or at least back above 11,000. So I'm happy with that. 2.6 for 24 hours and 9% for the 7-day. I will take those numbers. Ethereum almost at 370, 375 at 1.5 and 10% up for the week. Not too shabby as far as gains. Those are the kind of gains you might see in DeFi, but here they are in Ethereum. We'll take it. Tether's Tether, nobody cares. XRP, 24 cents. Pretty much you've got two stable coins at number 3 and 4. Polkadot down 2%, but up 20% for the week, so not too bad. Bitcoin Cash down 0.1, but they're in that 6th spot, and we'll see what happens with that whole Bitcoin Cash hard fork coming up in November. Chainlink down 4.5, even though they've got good news. What are you going to do? Binance down 1.4, even though they got into DeFi. Also, what are you going to do? Crypto.com only at 0.4, even though they got into DeFi. That's how it is. DeFi is not as hot as it used to be, but I believe it has its place. And everything else is pretty much standard, except for Yearn Finance, down 10% for the day. Ouchie. 35,000 though per token. If you're a Yearn Finance token holder and you got in early, congratulations, but I'm not touching that. And down we go. Synthetics down 1.5. Theta down 3%. What are you going to do? 28% for the week, not too bad. And 51 cents. And I've always said anything below $1 is a steal. And we're going to talk about how to buy that. But let's jump into today's top story. So first up, and this was huge, I was just about to make a video and I got this email from Kraken. And I just happened to open it up, and what does it say? Oh, it says, hey, guess what? We're going to be a bank. And it states, we are thrilled to announce that the state of Wyoming has approved Kraken's application to form the world's first Special Purpose Depository Institute, or SPTI. I have no idea what that is, but sounds good. And has granted a charter to Wyoming's newest state chartered bank, tentatively called Kraken Financial. I know what that means. That means that Kraken is going to be its own bank. It's going to be able to have traditional fiat. You're going to have cryptocurrency. You're going to be able to do wires, ACH, all those types of things. And this is exciting news because this is one of the first to where an exchange is also going to be a bank, and you're going to be able to do a lot of things that we should have already been able to do. So thank you, Wyoming, for being one of the few states to actually get it. New York, I hope you're listening because this is how it's done. So headquartered in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Kraken Financial will enable Kraken clients in the U.S., unfortunately, to bank seamlessly between digital assets and national currencies. Notice I didn't say U.S. dollar. They said national currencies. So I use Revolut, and they're a pretty great bank. They were started in Europe, now they transferred over to America, and you're able to transact in different national currencies. So like for me, I live right next to Mexico. I can transfer the US dollar right to the peso, just like that at a snap of a button. Very fast, very easy to use. Now Kraken's be able to do that, and that is good stuff. And it lays it all out, from paying bills and receiving salaries in crypto to incorporating digital assets into investment and trading portfolios. Kraken Financial will be the first regulated U.S. bank to provide comprehensive deposit-taking, custody, and fiduciary services for digital assets. And then scrolling down, additionally, because of our position as a bridge between crypto and traditional finance, we will offer the following crypto-focused services in our first year of operations. So digital asset custody, demand deposit accounts, DDAs, wire transfer, and funding services. And here's the big one. Other services for individuals' accounts, a complete online and mobile banking suite of products, which includes a debit card that clients can use to spend their crypto funds. So this is one of those things that Crypto.com actually had on everything and everybody, and they were like way ahead of the curve. Now Kraken is catching up, and this is just one of those dominoes that falls. I think over the next 1 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot of banks going, hey, wait, what happened? Where's all our customers going? We're going to have to close another branch because no one's coming in. Maybe this is the wake-up call that the OCC said is, hey, you guys can custody this stuff if you stop dragging your feet. And I think they're going to look around and going, seems like a ghost town here. Maybe we should get into cryptocurrency. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think this is huge. Let me know. Let's move on. Next up, I wanted to slip this in because we have to take a look at a global macro perspective about what's going on around us. There's this question that was asked, what do I think is going to happen in the next year to 3 years as far as like cryptocurrency? And I said, well, I think there's going to be a big dip because in the traditional market, there are institutional investors, and institutional investors are also making their way into our market. And the problem with the traditional world is that there's things like this going on where people are going bankrupt, people are seeking federal bailouts, there are printing of money, and I think there's a bubble that's about to pop. And when that bubble pops, you're going to see some of those players, not all, but some of those players go, you know what? I need to be liquid. I need to pay off my debts. And the only thing that's open 24/7 is cryptocurrency. And they're going to pull that out. But the strong hands, the ones that know exactly where this is going, and there's a lot more of those institutional investors that see where things are going, they're going to keep their money in. So we're going to see a little bit of a dip, and it's going to take off like a rocket because they're going to say, you know what? We can't trust this fiat, this Federal Reserve, this US dollar. I think we should go into something that has a quantitative hardening, not a quantitative easing, and that is cryptocurrencies and digital assets. So this is what I see just looking at the big picture. So struggling hotel owners, some with Trump ties, seek federal bailout. I don't care about the Trump ties. What I really care about is that there are multi-billion-dollar hotel chains that are going to default in their loans, and that's going to have a ripple effect. So Thomas J. Barrick Jr., billionaire investor, has struggled to keep up with payment of almost $2 billion in Wall Street debt. He used to buy a collection of more than 160 hotels. Monty Bennett is in a similar tough spot after he recently halted payments owed on the $2.6 billion worth of Wall Street debt used to acquire his own hotel collection. And there's a term called imminent monetary default is a term a Wall Street research firm used this summer to describe more than $300 million in debt on a luxury hotel in Austin controlled by Doug Manchester. So of course, this is all related to COVID-19. People are traveling less. They don't need hotels. What happens to hotels? They start to close down or they start to default on their loans. Now the bank's like, well, I'm not getting any money, so what do? Well, we had a bailout. We're going to need another bailout. And then guess what's going to happen? We need another bailout and another bailout. And all of a sudden, you have so many hands out. There's only so much money you can print before you're just like, you know what? You guys have to figure it out yourself. And I know some people say, no. Modern monetary theory. We can print to oblivion and it won't matter. Well, I'm here to tell you there is a point when you just can't do that anymore. And I think that we are coming up to that point. So this is what I see in the macro view. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But again, I don't see this as a very positive outlook in the short term. Long term, this is great for cryptocurrency digital assets because the more uncertainty, the better it is for us. Let's move on. Next up, we already covered this, but I wanted to make one point. MicroStrategy outperforms the NASDAQ after 175 million Bitcoin purchase. So what's going on here? So if you're unfamiliar with MicroStrategy, not too long ago, this little billion-dollar company, they bought 21,000 plus Bitcoin in August of 2020, this year. And that was about 250 million. They now own 0.1% of all Bitcoin. With this new purchase, they probably own 0.2. The CEO stated that Bitcoin is digital gold, harder, stronger, faster, and smarter than any money that has ever preceded it, which is a vast difference to what he said in 2013, where he said that Bitcoin is dead. Amazing what 7 years will do. And I think this is exactly what's going to happen with a lot of people out there. They're going to, just talk about Bitcoin like it's just nerd money and it's never going to work, to all of a sudden you see big, huge players like MicroStrategy, like a Paul Tudor Jones, like a Fidelity, like a TD Ameritrade, and the list goes on and on and on. So this is what's happening. So what happened recently, MicroStrategy bought another 175 million in Bitcoin. And what happened when they did that was that their stock rose over 9% as the CEO revealed what had happened. So what this says to me is that it's not just the CEO that thinks this is a good idea. It's the shareholders who say, you know what, this is great for us. This is great for the company, and we believe in cryptocurrency. Maybe they're opening their eyes like everybody else out there. So I think when you can increase your percentage, your stock price by 9% by buying into Bitcoin, you got a lot of believers than just upper management. Anyhow, moving down. This is Michael Saylor. He's the CEO. And just to verify, he states, on September 14th, MicroStrategy completed its acquisition of almost 17,000 additional Bitcoins at a price of $175 million. To date, we have purchased over 38,000 Bitcoins at a purchase price of $425 million, inclusive of fees and expenses. And there's two things to note here. So MicroStrategy's move seemed to have pleased market participants like we just talked about. While the company's stock jumped over 9%, the NASDAQ composite sat at just over 1% gain. So they are beating out NASDAQ. And lastly, MicroStrategy intention was capital preservation, with company CEO Michael Saylor saying of their first Bitcoin bet that the cryptocurrency was, get this, a dependable store of value and an attractive investment asset with more long-term appreciation potential than holding cash, which only makes sense. Cash will have inflation and will decrease by 2%, or inflation will cause 2%, which decreases the purchasing power. And with Bitcoin, it goes the exact opposite way. So my question to you is, which one would you rather have in the bank? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on. Last up, before we get to Q of the day, Chainlink to start supplying data for Crypto.com's DeFi wallet. So what's going on here? Well, the Hong Kong-based payment card and wallet provider said Monday that Chainlink's price reference data, or its decentralized Oracle network, had been plugged directly into the DeFi wallet, giving users ready access to its price feeds. Per a press release, Crypto.com said the integration meant users would receive highly accurate and transparent prices on all assets supported in the wallet. Chainlink co-founder Sergey Nazarov said the integration means the prices users will see will reflect actual market conditions rather than being the product of human tampering. That's what's great about Chainlink, is that they actually have multiple oracles to get different price feeds, so you don't just have one little piece and which is susceptible to attack. So multiple different points of references. That's great to get the most accurate data. And then mirroring Binance, Crypto.com launched a swap product last week where users can exchange tokens and where liquidity providers can earn yields by depositing digital assets into token pools. So again, it seems like whatever is happening in the space, the exchanges kind of just follow suit. Like, oh, you like that Uniswap? Well, guess what? Binance has got it. Crypto.com's got it. And guess who else is getting in the DeFi game? Coinbase has got it. Well, they have Wi-Fi and they have UMA, which are decentralized finance products. So we'll see how that all works out for them. But just to make sure that this partnership was accurate, I went to crypto.com, the official website, and I scrolled all the way down to the blog. And when the blog comes up, I just went and take a look at all their different products and information that they have. And it looks like on the third row, Crypto, Chainlink, DeFi, Crypto.com successfully integrates Chainlink to power ambitious DeFi roadmap for CRO. And if you click on that, you can go through the whole thing. So this, to my mind, would be what would be called a partnership. Looks like Crypto.com is definitely using Chainlink, so maybe it is not a hoax and a scam and a fraud like people may have said it is. So let me know what you think in the comments section. That's what I see, unless I'm missing something. All right. And speaking of other things that you can buy on exchanges and whatnot, there was a question I got which was all about Theta and how to buy it. So let's jump into the office. All right, everybody, welcome back to Q of the Day. Welcome back to the office. So the Q of the Day is actually a question we have answered in the past, but I need to answer this question again because it keeps coming up. And the question is, where can I buy Theta? Now, I was talking about Theta in the last two videos, and I kept getting a lot of comments like, hey, I'm in Texas, where can I buy Theta? Hey, I'm in this country, where can I buy Theta? So I'd already done a video on how to buy Theta, which is for Uniswap. You can watch that. I'll link that at the end. But what I need to do is actually show you another way. I was conversing with Digital Dave over at Crazy for Cryptos, and he said, hey, I saw your video on Theta. Have you ever used my exchange? And I said, as a matter of fact, I did use your exchange, and I used it to buy Theta, and it worked out pretty well, very easy. He said, well, mention it to your subscribers if you could. I said, that's a good idea. So I need to show you how to buy Theta using Digital Dave's exchange. And it's a pretty simple process, almost as easy as Uniswap. The difference is that they are a brokerage, kind of like Voyager, and they find you the best rates to purchase Theta and get it that way. So it's like I said, it's a very simplified process. And what I need to do is make sure that I do these videos and then put them in the playlist so that people can actually find them later on instead of just always asking in the comment section. And this is one of those issues with YouTube where it's kind of hard to make an education part very comprehensive if you don't have places to like direct people to, because you just say, well, then you have to look through all the different videos and whatnot. That's why I need to finish up that website. So all the information is right there. So what I'm gonna do right now is let's jump into my computer and I'm gonna show you exactly how to buy Theta using Digital Dave's exchange. Very simplified process. Let's just do that. So first of all, the original video that I did was how to buy Theta step by step, and it goes over the Uniswap and how to set up your Theta wallet. So I'm going to link that right now at the very top. It's going to slide out, so take a look at that first, because that's what you're going to need to figure out how to actually get your wallet in place. And all you got to do is go to thetatoken.org, and that will be in the description. And if you just click on wallet and just follow the directions in the other video that we just shared, you should have no problems. But the big question then is, how do we use Crazy for Crypto's exchange? Well, first of all, I'm just going to link it in the description as well, crazyforcryptos.com and /exchange. So it works pretty much like Uniswap. It's just that sometimes you get some better rates. It just depends on what you want to use. So right here, and there's a lot of different ones you can go through, right? Depending on what you're going to use, you're going to want to send something for something, right? So let's see something real quick. Can I use ADA? Yeah. So all you got to do, when you first put it in here, it says the popular choices are Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT. But you can use anything that you really want to. They got Cardano, they got Theta, they got Synthetics. Let's see, they got Tron. I mean, pretty much everything you think of is right there. Not everything, but a lot of them. To make this very simple, I'm just going to use Bitcoin. And what we're going to want is let's go for Theta. So Theta's about 50 cents right now. So I don't want 21,000. I just want to get about 100 of them or so. So I usually just play around with it until I figure it out. So 0.001, that's 21. 0.009, that's going to give me 191. Or how about we just make it even Steven and go 0.010 and 209. Okay, somewhere around there sounds good. And again, I just play around with it until I figure it out. And that's what we got. So then we're going to click on exchange. And then just to be crystal clear, this is on Crazy for Crypto's website, but what he did is he embedded this exchange. It's not like Dave created it, which would be very good if he could, but it looks like it is a embed, and it's actually from Change Now. So we're going to click on exchange, which is going to take us to the regular exchange itself, which is Change Now, and it's pretty simple. So I mean, what they do, Change Now is just like Voyager in the sense that it is a brokerage. So it's going to look for the best rate that it can find, kind of like how hotels.com, it aggregates all the different hotels and finds the best hotel, and then off you go. So same type of thing here. So we're going to go for 0.01, going to get about 200 Theta, roughly about 50 cents right now. And what's going to ask right here for is, they're looking for the Theta payout address. So what we need to do is go to our Theta wallet, which we can simply just click on, go to thetatoken.org, on our wallet. And again, if you watch the video that I had done previously, it'll show you how to